second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express.
Celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7. I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
That's right, folks. Order now. Head over to mypillow.com. We got Christmas on the way, the giving season. Make sure you get somebody a nice, comfy present for Christmas, or do what a lot of us like to do and spoil yourselves. Go head over to mypillow.com. Promo code Oreo, guys. Welcome back to the Oreo Express. Josh here. Thank you guys for tuning in so much. We got a lot of topics to go over today. We're going to be discussing so many different things that are going on. It's going to be an ADD show, which I love it. I love it. Love being all over the place. Welcome in to everybody in the chat. If I could ask you a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button and share this out, guys. Share this out. Actually, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to hit the post this right here. Let's see. How can I do this? I'll put join us on our Twitter feed really quick. I always forget about that. So thank you guys once again for tuning in. We didn't make the first show. I had some stuff. I planned on it. I started working on the show, and we had an issue with our TV that we have insurance on. And so the delivery driver was out here this morning, like 45 minutes before the show, and that took like 30 minutes. And so that took a little while, and I was like, man, I had to go get blood work. They say it's MAGA red, guys. My blood's MAGA red. And so we're doing this show today, 2 o'clock, an hour earlier from our afternoon show, and we want to say thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Let me jump over here in the comments. Hunter's over there. Sugar Bear, Karen Sunflower. Who else is in here? We got Susan K. Spencer, B. Mikey with the beautiful American flag. Nola's in the house. Let's see. Shelly Rose. Let me get down to the bottom. Let me scoot down. It says right now there's 48 of you. Pixie. And thank you guys on that. Let me see. Trina Clark is in the house. Let's see. Carol Burton, Donna Ralph. Thank you guys for tuning in here. We appreciate you. Man, we're one day closer to Friday. Oh, I got to call the lady about that thing. We're one day closer to Friday here now, guys. And we got a lot going on. We're going to talk about Nancy Pelosi, all the love letters for Nancy Pelosi once she announced her retirement. And it's kind of funny. I got some interesting stuff to say when that happens. And then we just got some other stuff. Another Supreme Court win for President Trump. They keep coming. And I think it's just absolutely fabulous that they keep coming. Um, let's see what else we got. We got some funnies to begin with, and I'll tell you what. Check this out. I'm a dodo sometimes. So we're moving around TVs. I used to have a TV in here, and we put it in the living room, or not the living room. It was very old TV, very heavy, by the way, and it's small. But it was my son's old TV when he used to live here, my oldest, and so we had it in the bedroom because the bedroom TV took a dump, and now we're moving TVs around. So last night, I got that gift card from eBay. Remember, I was telling you guys for our birthday, and that makes me remember I got to give some shout outs. And I bought a TV, a wall mount TV thing. And so I get it. And of course, it has great reviews and everything. It was only like $34. And it said it held up to 100 pounds and all this. So one of the TVs we're moving out from the game room into the bedroom. We went and I'm looking at the instructions and I tell Rachel, I don't think this is going to work. I'm not an expert at this, but I'm pretty handy. I can get things done. And I told Rachel, I said, it's only going through drywall. It's not asking us to put it in any studs, but it had these, not dowels, but those pieces that expand from the other side. And I was like, maybe it's enough. Maybe it's enough. I go, if not, we'll just figure something else out. And so last night we were working on that, and I get it all leveled and get the holes drilled, and I tap in the inserts and put it up there, put it on there, and I kind of hang on it a little, not all my body weight, but I pull. I said, oh, I don't know, let's just go hang the TV from it and see what. We hang the TV, and before we even put half the weight on, it was pulling out of the wall. So I had to definitely get my money back. I put a return in through eBay, so they gave us a UPS tag to get that. But man, I was like, I'm just lucky it wasn't put on there, and then like you know how sometimes they wait a minute to once the weight hits, then they go. That would have been bad news. But check out this guy right here. Literally, somebody confronted Rep. Tim McBride at the Capitol. I can't remember this guy's name, but I've seen him. He's been at a couple different events. But take a listen to this.
Timothy McBride. Timothy McBride. Timothy, I'm Joseph Philip Daniel.
Nice to meet you.
Hopefully you don't have child porn on your phone. Better not be a pedophile.
Sir,
God's watching you, man.
could you please give us some space?
And what you do on Capitol Hill,
Please.
I'll come back to you. Jesus is watching you, Timothy McBride. You man. How dare you act like a woman out here?
Please.
How
So that happened out in front of the Capitol. I guess that was earlier today. So that's going viral online. And then I got an update. Remember when we showed you the video of that person, obviously dressed as a woman, knocking over the Turning Point USA table? Was it at, I can't remember, University of Iowa, this one here? Well, that person has now been arrested. Justin Calhoun, 19-year-old transgender Democrat who attacked the Turning Point USA staff at the University of Iowa and flipped over their table, has been arrested by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. Take a look if you guys remember. We played this yesterday. If you weren't with us, this is kind of a recap.
No, thanks.
Are you dead?
Yep.
I have to know.
Did he get that?
Yeah.
No, thanks.
And I don't know when we're going to start having that conversation, but those who quote identify as transgender are certainly responsible for a lot of violence we see. You notice that? And I'm not even talking about Tesla dealerships and all that, but just on college campuses. And there was another one here from Frontlines who shared the video originally with Turning Point USA. It says, after TPUSA students worked with the University of Iowa PD, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department arrested 19-year-old Justin Calhoun. Calhoun was charged with 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 5th-degree criminal mischief, and 2 counts of 3rd-degree harassment. That's obviously you plead down. But let's see. 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 5th-degree criminal mischief, so that's 3, and 2 counts of 3rd-degree harassment. That's 5 total charges right there. And here is the inmate information for Justin. And you see it there. There's all those charges we talked about, 3rd-degree criminal mischief. We need to start doing something. These people were actually going to talk about another case that because it was in DC, the person was found not guilty. When are we going to start sending some messages that, hey, it's not okay to do this? I don't care you're on the right or the left. You know how many times we've been by a Planned Parenthood table or by something similar, some leftist organization. We've never done anything. Never had the urge to destroy their property. And maybe because we're mentally stable, maybe we don't have mental health issues. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. But it's just absolutely horrible the way things are going. And before I go any farther really quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Kristen B. Sent a check for a donation. Thank you, Kristen B. We appreciate you. And also Jewel sent us some more a more goodie bag, including a In-N-Out and a gas card, and sent Rachel a birthday package with some goodies in there. Jewel, thank you so much. It's more than appreciated. She was thrilled. And I got caught up. I guess there was an issue with our P.O. box because it wasn't there the beginning of last week. But if you look at the date, they should have been. Both of them were dated earlier. So I don't know what was going on there. But we got that. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Kristen. And again, I know some people don't feel comfortable doing online stuff. We always put up our P.O. box at the end of the show. If you guys want to do gift cards or anything to help us out while we're traveling, we appreciate that. It helps out a lot. Especially In-N-Out, y'all know that. So thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. And again, that was Kristen and Joel. Thank you more than you know. I wanted to make sure I got my shout outs out there. I wanted to show you something. Not too long ago, a little over a month ago, we were out in Phoenix area at the Turning Point USA headquarters after Charlie Kirk had been assassinated. And we were out there. We went to his memorial, but we were out there in front of the headquarters showing you the memorial that just continued to grow like a block each way, right? And she was Erica Kirk was on Jesse Waters. We're not going to show you everything, but we are going to show you how some of the stuff they saved, thousands of Bibles, cards, letters, paintings that they received from patriots from around the country. And they have those put up in their headquarters in Phoenix. And if you look at the video, you'll recognize some of this stuff from our live stream. Take a look at this.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Everyone's sending all of this here?
They received tens of thousands of letters, cards, gifts, personal Bibles, paintings, and more.
A lot of this is from when people came to the campus, the Turning Point USA offices, and left it outside the gates. Also, a lot has been mailed. I mean, it's just unbelievably humbling. But this is all mail. I told them not to throw anything away. I want every single card saved for my kids. And for when, if the day gets hard at your desk, you come into this mailroom, and I want you to come in, and I want you to pick up any of these cards, and I want you to read it so you can put into perspective why you work here.
Man, just absolutely incredible, guys. Absolutely incredible. It's sad, but it's heartwarming. It's heartwarming at the same time. Speaking of a lot of this violence are coming from the alphabet cult, support of the alphabet cult towards me, you, conservatives in general, Christians in general. Supreme Court, guys, 24th victory for the Trump administration. Today, the stay allows the government to require citizens to list their biological sex on their passport. Before you could pretty much do identity theft. You didn't, I mean, think about a passport where you're traveling from country to country and you're lying saying you're a different gender. Well, we won that, and it says, in other words, this is from Attorney General Pam Bondi, and I'll put it up on the screen right here for you. It says, in other words, there are two sexes, and our attorneys will continue fighting for that simple truth. Comment down there says, common sense and biology wins the day. But not everybody's too happy. If you had to guess one person in California that was a little upset, Scott Wiener. The same day the U.S. Supreme Court allowed Trump to force trans people to misgender themselves on passports, the California Supreme Court ruled nursing homes can't misgender trans residents, upholding a law I passed. California isn't down with Trump's dehumanization campaign against trans folks. No, again, they want to play the victim. They are victims. They are victims of a mental health crisis. And we need to do everything we can to not play along with that and normalize something that is against God. God created you in his image. He created two sexes. You can use the term gender all you want. Men will never be able to get pregnant. But of course, Scott Wiener just triggered as always. But as I said before, that I think it's kind of important to highlight. Donald Trump and his team have won 24 times in the Supreme Court. And many of the times we had to go to the Supreme Court, it's because a lower level activist judge went against the law, went against the Constitution, and it took Trump having to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. And something needs to happen with these activist judges. I'm just saying that right now. This is not normal, folks. You don't go through this. How about this? Attorney General of Florida is suing Planned Parenthood over some claims that chemical abortion is safer than medicine you would take from home at the medicine cabinet. It says this claim is a lie and violates Florida law. Take a listen to this.
This is Attorney General James Uthmeier. Today, our office is filing a lawsuit against Planned Parenthood after they falsely marketed to women that their chemical abortion pills are safer than the medication you get on the shelf at your local drugstore. Evidence suggests that 1 in 25 women who consume these dangerous pills are hospitalized. And we've seen dozens of reported deaths. This is wrong, and we're going to hold them accountable. They want you to believe that these chemical abortion pills that kill unborn babies are safer than the medication you'd take for an average headache. At the end of the day, we stand by our women.
So that's interesting. They will win that. But, you know, one thing I find interesting is, remember, we covered this. We did a little segment on this. And this is anytime it's a chemical abortion drug or anything like that, you know what you're going to find? You're going to find the same thing we found with the COVID shots. That when you went to your doctor for a side effect, that was never reported. A lot of the things that happen when women take this drug are hidden and swept under the rug. So even that 1 in 25 number is much lower than the reality. If you talk to somebody, these women go to emergency rooms and everything else. And a lot of these activists out there, and I would call them activist doctors that are pro-death when it comes to unborn babies. They don't report this. There is no true reporting of this. So I think this is a great start. And again, all they're saying is we're not asking you not to do it. Just stop lying, because your claim says that the chemical abortion is safer than taking your average pill in your medicine cabinet in your house. And that's not true. 1 in 25 people taking an Excedrin don't end up in the hospital. Whether there's side effects from Excedrin or not, they don't end up in the hospital. This was from yesterday. You know, the FBI has been working really hard. We've been seeing a lot of arrests, especially on big investigation. And we've seen a couple stories like this. Take a listen to this one. It says 3 Chinese nationals at the University of Michigan who are here on visa charged for conspiring to smuggle biological materials into the U.S. These 3 men are part of a long and alarming pattern of criminal activities committed by the Chinese nationalists under the cover of the University of Michigan, says U.S. Attorney Grogan. And this is a statement from FBI Director Kash Patel. It says these charges so the FBI and our partners will aggressively investigate and hold accountable those who violate our laws, and that academic research cannot excuse illegal activity. The Chinese nationals charged today allegedly were involved in smuggling biological material into the U.S. on several occasions. The FBI and our partners are committed to defending the homeland and stopping any illegal smuggling into our country. We've had a couple of those busts with people from China, the Communist Party of China. Maybe we just cut down visas altogether until we can get it under control. How about this? This was a Fox News. I tell you, we're jumping around a lot. There was a lot of things to put in one show, so we're not going to focus on one thing. We're going to focus on some stuff, but we're going to give you the gist of what's going on. DOJ officials actively preparing to issue several grand jury subpoenas relating to an investigation into former CIA Director John Brennan. Epic. Now, I think we can all agree this is the start. This is the beginning. That's nice that we're getting subpoenas out there, but we want something to come of it. We don't want, oh, see, we told you he did wrong. We want punishment. We want accountability. We've seen time and time again where we don't get to see any accountability, especially from our party. You can call it whatever you want, but remember, we are going off what Democrats said for 4 years. Nobody is above the law. What else do we got? How about this? Remember when January 6ers or anybody that was a patriot was going to court in D.C. and they were asking for a change of venue, a different location, and the judges always denied it. The reason why the judges always denied it is because they knew there was no such thing as a fair jury pool in a city that votes like 89% Democrat. They knew exactly what they were doing. That's why nobody got off on their cases. Well, that seems to be some of the same thing right here. You remember the sandwich guy who threw the sandwich at federal officers. He was a Department of Justice, a former Department of Justice employee. It says jury acquits DC sandwich guy charged with chucking a sub at law enforcement during President Trump's takeover of the nation's capital. Takeover? When did he take over? He put law enforcement down there to cut crime. That's what I'm talking about. That's NBC News. That's how they're going to word this guy. Trump's takeover of the nation's capital. These people are ridiculous. The article goes on to say jurors showed no appetite for the Justice Department case against the sandwich guy, the D.C. resident who chucked a Subway sandwich at the chest of a federal officer, finding him not guilty Thursday after several hours of deliberation. He's on video. He ran. This is what I'm talking about. When you're in D.C., there's not a jury of our peers in D.C. D.C. is a hellhole, and the people there are absolutely crazy. It says the resident Sean Dunn, a former Justice Department paralegal, faced a single misdemeanor count after a federal grand jury rejected more serious charges over the encounter, which took place at the nightlife area of U Street in August. Just absolutely, but you know what's funny? So he committed an act of violence against a law enforcement officer. Of course, the DC jury's not going to find him guilty of that because they hate the police. They hate everything to do with it. But Jamie Raskin, Rep. Jamie Raskin, look at his tweet. Long live the jury trial in America. So literally, Rep. Raskin is celebrating the fact that a man assaulted a Border Patrol agent on the streets just doing his job. What the oath, following the oath that he signed up for, somebody assaults him, and Rep. Jamie Raskin says, long live the jury trial in America. Just absolutely insane, folks. Absolutely insane. I won't say anything. It's just crazy. Now, I'm going to force y'all to watch it. Nancy Pelosi sending out a thank you, San Francisco. And what I find interesting is it's not the San Francisco we all know that we've came to not like so much. A lot of these videos are from older and history, because if she went down some of those same areas, it just don't look like that anymore. So take a listen to this and get a laugh out of it.
Dear San Francisco, we are fortunate to live in the most beautiful, remarkable place on earth. But the true magic of San Francisco, the San Franciscans. There's a reason why our city has always been synonymous with the future. Here we don't fear the future, we forge it. From the gold rush to the miracles of science and technology, our city has always been the cradle of innovation, buzzing with optimism and creativity. We are a vibrant and diverse city, home to hardworking families, diligent students, and heroic veterans, and the dreams of entrepreneurs and immigrants. From Chinatown to Japantown, from the Mission to the Fillmore, from Hunters Point to the Castro, North Beach to the Sunset. We are also resilient, experiencing more than our fair share of challenges. When the Loma Prieta earthquake struck, we brought in federal support that ensured we would not just recover, but reimagine the South of Market neighborhood. And of course, HIV/AIDS tested our city to its core. But out of our agony came action. Under the leadership of UCSF and San Francisco General, we pioneered comprehensive community-based care, prevention, and research. That very system served as a model as we wrote the Ryan White Care Act, which still ensures access to life-saving medical care nationwide. Fittingly, our city is home to the National AIDS Memorial Grove, a place of renewal where we remember the loved ones we lost. For decades, I've cherished the privilege of representing our magnificent city in the United States Congress. It seems prophetic now that the slogan of my very first campaign in 1987 was...
That's right. You heard that correctly, folks. 1987. I just want to tell you, I was 1987. I was 78. I was 9 years old. And if you go back to how beautiful San Francisco was, even through the 90s, she had destroyed San Francisco and made it the Woketopia, where it's a free-for-all for criminals, drug users, pedophiles, and everybody else. But think about that. We have a problem when people can stay in office that long.
A voice that will be heard. And it was you who made those words come true. It was the faith that you had placed in me and the latitude that you had given me. that enabled me to shatter the marble ceiling and be the first woman Speaker of the House, whose voice would certainly be heard. It was an historic moment for our country, and it was momentous for our community, empowering me to bring home billions of dollars for our city and our state. With these resources, we have powered enormous progress for healthcare, from the fight against HIV/AIDS to the Affordable Care Act. For transportation, extending BART, electrifying Caltrain, creating the 3rd Street Light Rail and the Central Subway, and strengthening our iconic Golden Gate Bridge, all creating good-paying jobs. For housing,
There it is. There it is.
enabling nonprofits to build affordable, low-income, community-based income housing tax credit. For the environment, from protecting clean air and water, to taking action on climate, to transforming the Presidio from a military post to a national park, a model for the nation. Of course, credit for this work also goes to our brothers and sisters in labor, and it was also made possible by the entrepreneurial spirit of our private and nonprofit sectors. We can be proud of what we have accomplished, but there's always much more work to be done. Of course, San Francisco's impact is not confined to our city limits. The Affordable Care Act, Wall Street reform, human rights abroad, and
So now is she going to be doing outsider trading? Or because I know she's big on insider trading. She became rich off insider trading.
so many other priorities, all sprang from the vision, values, and voices of San Franciscans. Because of your trust, I was able to represent our city and our country around the world with patriotism and pride. I say to my colleagues in the House all the time, no matter what title they have bestowed upon me, Speaker, Leader, Whip, there has been no greater honor for me than to stand on the House floor and say, I speak for the people of San Francisco. I have truly loved serving as your voice in Congress, and I've always honored the song of St. Francis, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace, the anthem of our city. That is why I want you, my fellow San Franciscans, to be the first to know. I will not be seeking re-election to Congress. With a grateful heart, I look forward to my final year of service as your proud representative. As we go forward, my message to the city I love is this: San Francisco, know your power. We have made history, we have made progress, we have always led the way. And now we must continue to do so by remaining full participants in our democracy and fighting for the American ideals we hold.
Fighting. Get out there and protest, guys. What I find interesting is we did one. I would love to be traveling right now so I could go to San Francisco and get some updated video. But how many remember? Let me see if I can find this. I just seen it. Let me see if I can go to my thing. We did a little travel video for San Francisco as well, if you guys remember. Let's see here. I thought I had it. Let's see. We got so much stuff in there. Let's see if it pops up here. You guys are going to love it. Here's one video I took in San Francisco just 2.5 years ago. Take a look. San Francisco. The night before, we watched a murder we were out there and watched somebody get murdered. How about this one? Look at it. What are they doing? The guy's got a glass pipe in his hand. You can see right there. There's tinfoil all over the ground. This is what they've turned it into.
I know that's right.
Everybody everybody doing? The San Francisco Lean, also known as the Fentanyl Shuffle. Let me see if I can find the other one I did. I love the other one, a little video I created. And I found some audio behind it. I found some audio when I was searching the web. Let's see. Gosh, we got a lot of stuff on here from San Francisco. Let's see. Here it is. Let's see. This is Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco.
You made it. Welcome, welcome. San Francisco's happy you're here. I'm happy you're here. And since it's been a minute, let me show you around. Meeting in San Francisco is as exciting as ever. For attendees who've never been, there's so much to discover. And for returning visitors, I mean, if you know, you know. Am I right? San Francisco was a leader in innovation, and that's exactly what we've been up to in order to keep you safe and our city buzzing. One of the most exciting changes, if I do say so myself, is me. Okay, it's not just me, but all the other San Francisco Welcome Ambassadors. Consider us your official welcome committee, ready to get you and your attendees amped up for your San Francisco experience. And let me tell you, it's going to be an experience. From epic scenery, dining, to the arts. I'm not going to give it all away, but here are some of the highlights. First things first, if you're having a meeting, you need space. We've got you covered. From gorgeous open-air events with views for days, to intimate gatherings in unique spaces. And of course, there's the Moscone Center.
That was one of the videos we just put together pretty quick in San Francisco. People doing meth everywhere. It was disgusting. Why is it doing that? I want to do this. Hold on. We're having a little problem here. This thing's, man, X is messed up today. Hold on. Let me just give her a shout out. All right, we'll move on. But it's horrible down there. And when you think about it, I used to go down there. I've told you guys this. We would go to the NASCAR race in Sonoma. It used to be held on Father's Day. So that was my gift to myself. I would take the family. We would go spend one day at the pier in San Francisco, and then we would head to the racetrack the next day. My kids, and we would go to Sonoma, but we would stop going into San Francisco. There's a lot of cool things that used to be very beautiful. And I did talk to one of my, I was having a conversation with one of my pastors a couple weeks ago because he's from Portland, and he asked how my trip to Portland went. And he talked about, being raised in Portland. He goes, you know what? We just went to San Francisco. They're starting to clean up at least the touristy areas, because everybody brings, you go there, everybody has a camera, everybody's got their phone, and they're taking pictures of, people. And I told him a story, when I knew it was bad, we were right near Pier 39. And I think it was the last time I took kids there. And we were, is it a burger shop or something? And our table was right along the window. And literally somebody walks up to the window, pulls down their pants, and starts taking a crap. Like, you want to talk about losing your appetite? You want to talk about wanting to kick somebody in the head? I mean, of all places, right there. And I was like, I was done. But he said they had went down there. They had just went down there recently, and the touristy spots were cleaner. So that's a good thing. I was looking at some of the comments about Nancy Pelosi, and oh my God, she's just great. It was all over social media. They all got the memo. It said Nancy Pelosi career has been masterclass on leadership. The first woman to ever hold the speaker's gavel, and she did it better than most who came before her. From passing the Affordable Care Act to standing with Trump, she never flinched. Madam Speaker, we salute you. which kind of interesting because the Affordable Care Act, which also known as Obamacare, we are dealing with right now. We are dealing with right now, and not in a good way. We actually have a video. We told you, you go back and listen. If we pass this, it will lower health costs for all Americans, not just the people on the Affordable Care Act. And it did absolutely the opposite. Now they're looking for your tax dollars to continue extending it in what they call subsidies, a form of socialism that is paying insurance companies, not you or me, but giving insurance companies billions of dollars to deny your claims, to make it hard. You guys know I got insurance for the first time in over a year now. And I got my went to my doctor on Monday, and already literally a prescription that I'm on for my diabetes. I go to pick it up and, oh, your doctor has to do a special approval with insurance. And I said, why is that? Well, because they want you to be on this medicine. I said, I am on this medicine. I take it in combination. They wanted me to be on the $5, which is metformin. I've been on for years, but they want you. And I go, well, I've already done that. They said, yeah, the insurance still requires it. So I call insurance. I'm on my way home. I get on the phone and I explain to them, I had an insurance plan through you guys 2 years ago. I was taking this same prescription. So my doctor already had to, let me check it out. Yeah, you're probably right. She goes in there. Well, the last time you had that, what did she say? It was 2024. And so there has to be redone again. I go, so my doctor wrote me a prescription. We've communicated on my health care, but you want to get in there and make him do some more work and wonder, why is the cost of health care so much? Because he's got to take it. His assistant's got to work on it. He's got to go all these things. And I'm just like, that is all because of the regulations and everything that Affordable Care Act has put on. How about?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Yeah, good old Pelosi. Good old Pelosi. I was ready for that one today. How about this one? Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, Mr. Cigar Guy. Throughout her remarkable career, Nancy Pelosi has been one of the most effective leaders ever to serve in the United States Congress. Thanks to her masterful abilities in both policy and politics, millions of Americans are living better, healthier, and more opportunity-filled lives. Her service has changed America forever, and we owe her a profound debt of gratitude. It says, congratulations on a job well done, my friend. Best wishes for an impactful final year in office and a happy, healthy, fulfilling retirement. Now, if you do have to admit something. You do have to admit, now this is a lie. Americans aren't living better, healthier, or have more opportunities because of her. She was one of the climate change czars. A lot of industry left California, everything from forestry to metalworking and everything else fled to the other side of the Arizona border because of all these regulations. If you look at the percentage of homelessness in California while she was representing California, never an issue for her. But what's interesting, as we covered last week, Scott Wiener, the groomer himself, running for Nancy Pelosi's seat. You say, can it get any worse? Scott Wiener is worse. Scott Wiener. And again, Nancy Pelosi, she did a good job for the people she was doing the job for. For far left Democrats, she did an excellent job. Remember the times that we were covering, almost 10 years ago, Code Pink. She wasn't even doing press conferences anymore in California because the far left, they would go up on stage and they would harass her and do everything. And she would fold like a cheap suit within weeks on a policy issue. How about what President Trump said? And we got some information on President Trump today. We got he did a presser talking about a weight loss drug, but this was actually part of that. We're not getting into that yet, but listen to what he says about Pelosi.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
About Nancy Pelosi?
Nancy Pelosi's retirement.
I think she's an able woman. She's retiring. I think she did the the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country.
And on Dick Cheney?
I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love the brutal honesty. Think you guys do too.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Brad.
Brutal honesty. Let me do something here. I'm going to go back and move this over. I love doing this so fast. I'm telling you guys, I'm spoiled now with this. Okay. How about this? I just want to show you the video. It's 7 firefighters were injured with an explosion when they were trying to put out a fire. F&D Fire Department New York said on Wednesday night, members responded to multiple calls of a fire at 955 Westchester Avenue in the Bronx. Firefighters arrived to find multiple cars and rubbish piles on fire. While on the scene, an explosion occurred, injuring 7 firefighters. Prayers to those firefighters. I hear they're all going to be making a full recovery. From what I seen, it said the explosion injured 7 firefighters, 5 of them with burns to the hands and face. 3 of them are being admitted. The burns are considered serious, but not life-threatening. Our firefighters are awake, alert, and speaking, but they have some serious burns, and we'll be praying for them. With quick action by our emergency medical services, they were transported to Jacoby Hospital, where they were given great care by their staff. Now, just New York in general, we just got through done talking about San Francisco. This is what their streets look like, folks. This is the kind of stuff that was burning. Take a look at all that big old pile of garbage just out there on the sidewalk. I mean, people, that's in front of your home. Could you imagine coming out of your home, and because you live in a city that's Democrat controlled or now communist controlled, this is what you get to look forward to. Look at that car there. Look at behind all that car. Look at all that trash and debris. That's not, I know they want to blame the billionaires for everything. That's not the billionaires' fault. It's the city's fault. That's elected leaders' fault. And that is disgusting. Nobody should have to live like that. And obviously, if you look at what happened, you see that it affected, it had definitely some negative effects. Just insane. Just insane. So they did a press conference today talking about, Trump's been working with these pharmaceutical companies, trying to get the best prices and lower costs for the American people. We're going to talk about some of all that. But one thing that happened in this, there was some funny parts to this. I don't know if I have them all on camera, but somebody from one of the pharmaceutical industries collapsed. And that's not funny. I pray that it sounds like he's okay and everything, but take a listen to this. Take a watch of this.
But today we, you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
We're going to break away for just a moment as the.
So if you look now, this video has circulated, I don't know, millions of times saying that RFK Jr. ran away from an emergency. This is the guy that's in charge of Health and Human Services. And when there's an emergency, he ran away. He ran away to get medical staff, by the way. But this is how the left plays the game of fake news. But take a look and I think you'll see it in this video. Him and another staffer go get medical people to help out this gentleman.
Today we, you okay? Gordon, you okay?
He's on the ground. He's like, oh, we need help. So that is literally portrayed by the people that are paid by Democrat and communist political action committees. All those are putting on there that, like, RFK Jr. just left him for dead, guys, and I'm not going to pull all of them up, but I hope if I collapse and you're with me, you rush to get medical help. Please, please. Just absolute ignorance what was going on there. And then this was from the White House. It says, during the most favored nation's Oval Office announcement, a representative with one of the companies fainted. The White House medical unit quickly jumped into action, and the gentleman is okay. The press conference will resume shortly. And so that was good news. That was good news that they got the medical staff there. Listen,
Now
to
you're
some of
talking
this right here.
just as significant.
Oh, let's get this pulled up.
Medicare and just as significantly, Medicare and Medicaid will finally cover the cost of these weight loss drugs for millions of patients suffering from obesity. Copays for Medicare patients will be as low as $50. This is tremendous savings. I mean, now you're talking about from $1,350 to $50. This is tremendous news for the American seniors. And you all remember when I had 1/8 of 1% for the year. I cut it 1/8 of, and I was so thrilled. But now we're cutting it 1,000%, 1,200%. Nobody's ever seen anything like this.
So again, working on some, these drugs have become very popular. You might have your opinion on them. I'm skeptical of a lot of drugs. I think you know that. I just hope there isn't some long-lasting side effect. And the reason why I say that is because I know plenty of people that have worked hard and lost weight without any type of injectables or anything. It has to do with a lifestyle difference. But I also know people, and I go to the gym regularly and I talk to people. I know people that have limited their calories, their intake. They've been to the doctor and nothing seems to work. And the reason why we have a weight loss drug is there probably is some things where your body changes after years of eating all the stuff, the processed foods, all this stuff that probably changes the way your body works, right? Your body adapts to certain things. And because of our healthcare system is failed, when you go to the doctor, they run a blood test, say, oh, no, you're fine. Just keep working out, but you're not losing anything. And so again, I hope, every drug has side effects. And it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice for people to take. I've taken medicine that I knew had a lot of side effects, but I liked what the medicine did for me more than I cared about the side effects. And if people feel that way, and listen to some of these comments, RFK Jr., this is funny. Trump asked RFK Jr., have you changed your view on Tylenol for women that are pregnant? Listen to this.
Change your view on Tylenol for women that are pregnant?
No. As I said.
There were some false reports out about Tylenol that Bobby changed his view. I don't think he's changed.
No, I'm not going to change until the science changes, and the science.
So there was false reports that came out that said RFK Jr. Has changed his stance on Tylenol on pregnant females, because only females can get pregnant, if you didn't know that. But listen to this. He says, I'm not going to change my stance until the science changes.
Does not look like it's changing. It's getting stronger. Every day, what we recommend is that pregnant mothers, talk to their physicians, the mothers of small kids talk to their physicians, and we've advised the physicians to reduce the thresholds and to reduce the amount of Tylenol that they give to children as much as possible, and only use it when it's absolutely critical.
And you remember we covered some of that stuff. I think we were back on our way from Arizona when we covered some of those live streams of this going on when it happened. And then you just seen pregnant women with Trump derangement syndrome drinking bottles of Tylenol. And it's like, man, I'll just tell you, if you ever experienced love for a child, you know that you would do anything to protect that child. And if that means that you don't give your child as much Tylenol or for an extended period of time, why wouldn't you say, hey, you know what? It's not hurting the child by not giving it to them. Again, there was parts of this world over time, we didn't have Tylenol. We didn't have Tylenol, and a fever is actually a good thing. That's your body fighting off the infection. And then we also had this. Dr. Oz says our estimate is Americans will lose 135 billion pounds by the midterms. Now, we know we have an obesity problem. It's actually been praised by the left. Instead of saying, go out, exercise, eat healthy, do what's right, they put 350-pound, and they called them runway models, and said, oh, this is the new fabulous. No, it's not. It's not. You don't want that to sit on you, do you? So it's just one of those things. We got to, again, we're going back to where sexy is sexy. It went for a long time where we even had guys pretending to be girls doing makeup commercials. What a time to be alive. I mean, think about that. But listen to what Dr. Oz says here. It's just a quick 10-second clip. I think
25 million pounds. Mr. President, our estimate, based on the company numbers as well, is Americans will lose 135 billion pounds by the midterms.
That's a lot of weight, guys. A lot of weight. So hopefully, people can do it without major side effects if that's what they choose to do. Obviously, that is a substantial discount now compared to what it was, $1,350, $1,600 a month, even high copays with insurance. Now that they're negotiating these deals, it will be less expensive for the American people who do the research and decide this is right for me. Now, we know we've had a lot of stuff going on with the shutdown. Speaking of healthcare, the Affordable Care Act, I want you to listen, because now all of a sudden, since the election, the day after the election, they started sending Democrat congresswomen to interrupt Speaker Mike Johnson and say, we just need to get to the table and discuss things. Well, why right after election? Well, we heard that they were going to wait and postpone it until after the election before they even started discussing opening up. And this is the Democrats opening up the country, because there's a clean CR right now, a continuing resolution that funds the bill, just like it's been, the country's been funded since March. They fund the bill. They don't have to worry about SNAP. They don't have to worry about any of that. People will get their EBT cards reloaded, and they'll be buying their soda pops and their ice cream and spending more than people that don't have it. Take a listen to Senator Shaheen and listen to what she says today.
If that can't pass, the ACA vote, then what do you say?
Well, it's not clear that it can't pass. There are a lot of Republicans who I've been talking to who think we need to address the issue.
But the speaker's not committed to put it on the floor.
Well, I can't speak for the speaker. If he doesn't understand that people can't afford their health insurance rates, then he's got a problem.
I'm not promising anybody anything. I'm going to let this process play out.
And that last comment, critical, that Speaker Mike Johnson making very clear there that he would not commit to any separate vote on the House floor on Obamacare subsidies, which is what Democrats have been demanding. So the question ultimately here, Dana, is whether or not Democrats will say, okay, we still need to reopen the government. We'll see what happens on healthcare, even if there's no guarantee that that can become law. And we require 8 Democrats in total to advance a bill to become law. Unclear if that will happen, but that's where the discussion is at this key moment here in the Capitol.
Yeah, I mean, that you're so right. That statement from House Speaker Mike Johnson was very telling, because I know I'm hearing and you're hearing as well that House Republicans are saying we can't deal with this. So you know who's going to have to give them cover? The President of the United States.
Who's going to have to give them cover? So again, they took COVID money. Remember when we just printed money like it was crazy? Under, we had the Inflation Reduction Act where the printers were just going full print of money that the United States didn't have and just giving it out to cities, states, counties. And they're like, we're going to put billions of dollars and it's going to expire at the end of 2025. And then we're just going to blame Trump and or blame Republicans, and then we're just going to extend it. Well, where does that money to extend it come? We don't have the money. But we got some other stuff on here that's quite interesting. We have, listen to Senator Peter Welch. He's a Democrat, out of Vermont. We told you yesterday, Obamacare was one of those things that kind of got me really politically engaged, at least in the healthcare front back in the day, because my healthcare premiums went up. They stopped the company I worked for that I was management in said, "Hey, this is the law. We have to agree to the law. They're gonna find these people that don't have health insurance. We have to put health insurance on people that do not want it." Employees and the whole thing. And then I'm like, wait a second, this isn't right. But they promised if we pass the Affordable Care Act, insurance costs go down for everybody, right? I can pull up some old video, but first listen to what Senator Peter Welch said today.
I owe you an answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
Finally, someone that's honest up there, guys. Holy cow. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care. It's skyrocketed. And it's funny, Democrats talk about these big, greedy insurance companies, and I don't disagree with them a lot of times. I'm not a fan of insurance. Not like, oh, yay, yay, Blue Shield, Blue Cross. I'm not out there rallying for them. There's a lot of things that could be fixed. But what created this? Government subsidies. Here's your money, whether you do what's right or not. Here's your money. And then we had, 6 states? 6 states decide to cover people that were in the country illegally that you, the taxpayers, are paying for. These are the things that Republicans are going to put on the table and ensure do not get paid. They're not going to put something out there that gives health insurance to people that came into the country illegally when we have American citizens that are in dire need of health insurance. I want everybody to have health insurance. I'm not for a government-ran healthcare program, but I am for an affordable types of insurance. I told you before, we used to be able to have different insurance plans. You know how, like, when you go, well, it's a law now that you have to have insurance on your car, but you can have different types of coverage on your car. We call it here, I don't know what you guys call it, but we call it here PL and PD. Someone comes up, beats the crap out of your car, well, you're covering that. Insurance isn't going to cover that. You get full coverage. No matter what happens to your car, you pay your deductible. It's taken care of. We could do that same set and have like a 5-tiered approach to healthcare. I was just thinking the other day when I was talking to Rachel, I went to the doctor. Rachel hasn't went to the doctor in 4 years because she's had no reason to go to the doctor. So you have people paying into insurance that don't use it. Then you also have people that need it, and their biggest concern isn't major surgeries or anything like that, but they are on prescription drugs, which also, because of Democrats, have flown through the roof. And that's what Trump's trying to fix. Why can I get a prescription for $110 in Europe from an American pharmaceutical company, and it's $874 in the United States? Now, some of it is regulations and everything we put on everybody. We need to cut the regulations on some things. But he just admitted right there. I'm going to play in the background. Listen.
Here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care. I owe you.
You did. And Trump even said at the thing, the Obamacare premium's going up, and it's not my fault. Listen to this.
I don't weigh in it, but we're looking at all of that right now. We're looking at all of it. There are a lot of great ideas out there. Because Obamacare is a disaster. The Obamacare premium is going to go up 17 or 18%, and that's not my fault. I didn't want Obamacare. That's
not my fault. I was against Obamacare. I wanted to repeal and replace. And because of a rhino senator, John McCain, who got up out of a deathbed just so he could vote against Trump because he had Trump derangement syndrome, that will be his legacy. Part of the reason why healthcare costs is going up is because John McCain. So I thought this was interesting. Senate Democrats blocked Senator Rick Scott's bill to prevent congressional paychecks while they keep the government shut down. We talked about this yesterday. I think, who was it? Not Massey. Kennedy came up and said, well, I'm going to put two bills on the floor. If the government's not open and we're not paying our employees, then Congress isn't getting paid either. Take a listen to this.
Today with my bipartisan and common sense No Budget, No Pay Act. It's a simple proposal that says if members of Congress can't complete one of our basic jobs of funding the government, we shouldn't get paid. This shouldn't even be necessary. We should just do our jobs. But as we sit here over a month into the Democrat shutdown, it's clear we need something to hold Congress accountable. Every year we're tasked with putting together a budget with the expectation that it is on time and fits the needs of the American people. The American people elected us to come together. Look at what we're collecting in revenues and put together and pass 12 appropriation bills that use those dollars effectively. I was governor of Florida. Every year we pass a budget and we balance the budget. We did it on time. The last time Congress passed all 12 appropriation bills on time was, what's your guess? 3 decades ago.
3 decades.
Congress has failed time and time again to do its most basic job. I came to the Senate to fix this. I ran on a plan to make Washington work better for families, which included my No Budget, No Pay Act. And I've been fighting to get this passed since I got here in 2019, and I've been met with resistance from many of my colleagues since I got up here. But unfortunately, Democrats have thrived in the dysfunction and have fought endlessly to keep the status quo. They passed massive spending bills after massive spending bill, which has caused massive inflation in this country. They've raised taxes and expanded government. We now have, Mr. President, how much debt do you think we have now? $38 trillion. We're running $2 trillion a year deficits. Now they're using the same dysfunction to shut down our government. They're prioritizing a liberal wish list of the needs of the American people. And they're more than happy, it seems, to deprive federal workers, TSA, FAA, and law enforcement of their paychecks, while members of Congress still get their own paychecks. Democrats are happy to stop 40 million people from getting their SNAP benefits. I just can't imagine, the little kids worried about where their meals are going to come tonight. These Democrats voting to shut down government are still getting paid. We should not get paid if we don't do our job. There's a problem with Washington. Any working American will tell you that if you don't do your job, you don't get paid, except here. Members of Congress consistently fail one of our basic duties of funding the government on time and still get a paycheck, even when others don't. Senate Democrats have now voted against funding the government 14 times in the last 5 weeks. They voted time and time again to continue the longest shutdown in our nation's history and stopping people from getting paid. But they're still getting paid. Democrats shouldn't be shutting down the government and risking others' paychecks without being in the same boat. I ask every one of my colleagues to support passage of my No Budget, No Pay to tell every member, do your job, fund the government, or do what other people end up doing, forego your taxpayer-funded salary.
Amen. But you know what? Once again, we know who voted against that. The Democrats. They blocked his bill to prevent congressional paychecks while they keep the government shut down. This won't get a whole lot of play. This won't be on your evening news. That won't be any of that, guys, because, again, your mainstream media don't want you to know what Democrats are truly doing. They want to find a way to blame Republicans. J.D. Vance tweeted this out earlier. It says, what the Democrats are doing on the government shutdown is genuinely unprecedented. And while the administration has shielded the American people from the worst of the consequences, all of this is coming, and soon. An aviation emergency that will lead to significant travel delays for all Americans, food stamps and other assistance program running out for needy Americans, great strains on our military and national security. Says the shutdown is now passed from farce into tragedy. And the consequences of this national emergency fall on every senator and every congressman who refused to open the government. It's exactly where it should lie. It's exactly where it should lie, folks, is with those people that are refusing to do this. Speaker Johnson said some stuff today concerning the majority, talking about redistricting. We know here in California, we were out there a couple nights ago bringing you a live stream from outside the polling station where Prop 50 had passed. Take a listen to this.
In next year's midterms. The third reason is we got a very favorable map. You shouldn't miss this either. I was very bullish even before the current redistricting battles began. As we sit here today, there are 13 House Democrats sitting in districts that President Trump won. There's another 21 of them in districts he came within 5 points of winning. There's only three, conversely, there's only 3 House Republicans sitting in districts that Kamala Harris won. That's a lopsided map. And after redistricting, we think we'll net a few more seats, handful, maybe 6 to 8. We're in very good position to make history and grow this majority. And finally,
let's pray we do, guys. Let's pray we do. It's everything we need. Everything we need. So a federal judge. So I seen this earlier. It says SNAP recipients. This was from CBS News. We knew that the government had funds that if they could legally be allocated and issued, that would enough benefits to cover about 3 weeks. That's it. 3 weeks of SNAP benefits for those people who are receiving them. And it was interesting. CBS News posted this, says SNAP recipients will now get up to 65% of November food stamp benefits. Now that would be about right. If you took it and you had to divide, if you had to take, whatever they had, 3 weeks worth, put it into a month and divide that up, you get 65% of your monthly allocation. So if you were getting, $200, now you're getting $130. And then I seen this recently, and I haven't had time to go over it. It says, this is from the Associated Press shortly before I went live. It says, breaking, federal judge orders the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP benefits in November. This is what I'm talking about. How do you, I thought we just had no King's protest. How can a judge, if there's no money allocated for it, say you must fund something? Now, certainly we have money from tariffs and we have money for everything. We have money for things. But again, it's almost like what they did to Social Security. They used it for everything else, and now we're going to be out of Social Security in 11 years. This is the article. It says a federal judge in Rhode Island. Oh, they got a judge in Rhode Island. Ordered the Trump administration Thursday to find the money to fully fund SNAP benefits for November. It said the ruling by the U.S. District Judge John J. McConnell gave President Donald Trump's administration until Friday to make the payments through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, though it's unlikely the 42 million Americans, about 1 in 8, most of them in poverty, will see the money on the debit cards that they use for groceries nearly that quick. The order was in response to a challenge from cities and nonprofits complaining that the administration was only offering to cover 65% of the maximum benefit, a decision that would have left some recipients getting nothing for this month. It says the defendants failed to consider the practical consequences associated with this decision to only partially fund SNAP, McConnell said in a ruling from the bench after a brief hearing. They knew that there would be a long delay in paying partial SNAP payments and failed to consider the harms individuals who rely on those benefits would suffer. Just insane. I don't want people to go hungry, guys. I don't. But a federal judge can do that. A federal judge can order Democrats to vote yes on the continuing resolution. Solves the entire process, the entire thing. Think about that for a second. All right, let's get into some immigration and craziness and America last, people. I thought this was interesting. Libs of TikTok, we're about a mile 1.4 miles away from Fresno State University, California State University, Fresno. We've actually been there a couple times. We were there when Chloe came to town about 4 months ago, and then we were 5 months ago, and then we were there not long ago for the Charlie Kirk Memorial. It says Fresno State President Saul Jimenez Sandoval announced that the university will be sending out notifications to students and staff if there is immigration enforcement activity on campus in compliance with the California SAFE Act. It says California and taxpayers-funded institutions are purposely interfering with immigration operations to protect criminal illegal aliens. I think as long as these people that get federal money comply with California SAFE Act, they should lose the money. And big shout out to Karen. Karen gifted 5 subscriptions to you Rumble chatters on Oreo Express on Rumble. Thank you, Karen. It is absolutely amazing. You guys help out the platform. We can't do it without y'all. It is incredible. So just want to say thank you. So you got to ask yourself, what are they going to do? A Trump administration's not playing around. And I thought this was another interesting one. The Attorney General of Indiana, Todd Rokita, announced a major lawsuit against IPS schools for ignoring immigration law and interfering with ICE. It says, and this is just what Libs of TikTok posted, earlier this year, an illegal alien father who voluntarily decided to self-deport asked for his child to come with him. The school district reportedly refused to hand over the kid because they didn't want to work with ICE. So the father's self-deporting and they're keeping the kid away from the father. Listen to this. Listen to this. I hope they lose their ass in court.
Hello, Hoosiers. Attorney General Todd Rokita here, and I'm honored to be joined by Chad Wolf, the former Acting Secretary of Homeland Security and current Executive Director of the America First Policy Institute. We're announcing a new enforcement action my office is taking to eliminate local government policies in Indiana that give sanctuary to illegal aliens. I am bringing a lawsuit against the Indianapolis Public Schools over their policies that hamstring ICE's ability to keep our schools safe from criminal illegal aliens. And I'm pleased that the America First Policy Institute will be serving as special counsel in this case.
Well, that's right. AFPI is supporting your office, Attorney General, to help protect Hoosier communities. Sanctuary policies in schools put Indiana children and neighborhoods at risk. And we're here to tell you what we're doing about it and why it matters to every Hoosier.
You know, Indiana's anti-sanctuary law prohibits local government entities from restricting their cooperation with federal immigration authorities like ICE and from interfering with federal immigration enforcement. IPS currently maintains policies, unfortunately, that frustrate ICE's ability to do its job. It severely limits ICE's ability to access school grounds when necessary and prohibits IPS employees from assisting or sharing information with ICE. Now, those kinds of sanctuary policies are bad in any context, and they are especially troubling if they're in schools. Schools across the country have sometimes been infiltrated by criminal illegal aliens, and it is essential that ICE be able to take action when that occurs to help keep our kids safe. Now, that's why my office, with the assistance of AFPI, is filing a lawsuit against IPS to force them to comply so that they put Hoosiers first.
Schools are sacred places where our children should be safe and not places where illegal aliens should be shielded. We've seen it elsewhere, right? MS-13 gang members sitting in high school classrooms, or in Iowa, where we had a school superintendent who was an illegal alien and wanted for federal weapons charges. It's happening across the country, and it's something that we don't want to allow to happen right here in Indiana.
So the risks posed by sanctuary policies in Indiana schools are not hypothetical. Just this January, IPS interfered with ICE's efforts to deport a student whose father had already voluntarily agreed to leave the country. That is exactly the kind of interference with federal immigration enforcement that Indiana's anti-sanctuary law is meant to stop. The anti-sanctuary law gives my office the authority to sue any local entity that obstructs ICE And that's exactly what we're doing. We're fighting to make sure our schools are places of learning, not lawlessness.
And so the America First Policy Institute backs Indiana's stand because we believe in protecting communities. We believe in starting with our kids. When schools like IPS defy the law, they're not just ignoring ICE, they're inviting risk that hurt families, from increased crime to broken trust. So we're proud to support Attorney General Rakita in this lawsuit to hold IPS accountable and to keep our schools safe.
You know, we warned IPS to stop these sanctuary policies or face the consequences in court. They didn't listen. We're proud to have AFPI as our partner in this effort. Their legal expertise and commitment to American sovereignty will help my office keep Hoosiers safe.
Excellent, excellent work. We need to see more of that. We need to see more of that. Hats off to Todd Rakita, the Attorney General of Indiana. We need more of that, guys. We need more of that. How about this? The Kansas. I know Karen's in here. Karen's in here. The Kansas Attorney General has charged Coldwater Mayor Jose Caballos for voting illegally as a non-citizen. I thought this never happened. I thought non-citizens couldn't vote. There was no way for them to vote. Take a look at this.
The mayor of Coldwater accused of election fraud. The charges come hours after he secured a second term in office. Attorney General Chris Kobach charged Mayor Jose Joe Ceballos with 6 felonies, 3 counts each of voting without being qualified and election perjury. Kobach claims Ceballos is lawfully living in the U.S., but is a citizen of Mexico, making him ineligible to vote. The AG alleges the mayor illegally cast ballots in the August 2024 primary and November 2022 and 2023 general elections.
In large part, our system right now is based on trust. Trust that when the person signed the registration or signs the poll books saying that he's a qualified elector or that he is a United States citizen, that the person is telling the truth.
We reached out to Mayor Ceballos for comment, but have not heard back yet. The Coldwater City Council, though, released a statement on social media saying the mayor called them in for a special meeting over the noon hour to, quote, discuss recent events that have transpired with the Kansas Attorney General's office. While the recent allegations involving the mayor are understandably concerning, we will allow the proper legal process to take its course before making any further comments, unquote. He is expected to be in court for his first appearance on December 3rd.
I didn't think that was possible. This guy must be a magician. Yeah, I'm glad they're going after him. Make an example out of him. He knew. He's the mayor. He knew he wasn't allowed to do that. This is funny. Bill Malugin, Congressman Chuy Garcia, somebody else that probably needs to. Never mind. Today, it says, today, ICE kidnapped a teacher inside a daycare in front of little children and parents. This is a story we showed you, the fake news story that we showed you yesterday. It says, this is not making us safer. This brutality needs to stop. And I love this. Bill Malugin tweets back, if politicians truly believe ICE arrests were kidnapping, a serious felony, they would be filing police reports for kidnapping and seeking prosecution. Instead, it has become a charged word used to describe any immigration enforcement arrests they disagree with. Now, where's the police report? If they're kidnapped, call the police, especially in Sanctuary, California. What a Bob Bolso. How about this? DHS says an ICE officer in Houston needed 13 stitches after a Salvadorian illegal alien convicted pedophile assaulted him with a metal coffee mug during an arrest on Monday, splitting his lip open. Walter Leonel Perez Rodriguez has prior convictions for sexual assault of a child fondling, multiple DUIs, and illegal re-entry. This person had been previously deported. He initially entered the U.S. illegally as a getaway at an unknown time and location and has 2 prior deportations on his record in 2013 and 2020. He's now in ICE custody. Look at this. It's not for the split that lip. Pretty bad. Look at that. And here's the scumbag that should have got his ass handed to him. Should have had a FAFO. But he will. He will be back in his home countries. Welcome home. We're going to send you back home because this is not your home. Again, Democrats will protect that pedophile like they have every other criminal illegal alien that we have seen get picked up by ICE. I want to do that. I'll wait till tomorrow on that one. How about this one? Cuban criminal illegal alien Jorge Nunez Garcia has an extensive criminal history, including convictions for attempted homicide, aggravated assault, carrying a concealed weapon, trespassing, burglary, and larceny, and including disorderly conduct. He said he is currently in Alligator, Alcatraz. So that person will be deported pretty soon as well. We need to get these people out of the country. I thought this one was pretty awesome too. Another historic month in border security. It says the lowest nationwide encounters in October in CBP history. 6 straight months of 0 border patrol releases. And it says 258 daily apprehensions, 95% lower than the average of the previous administration. Border security is a national security, and CBP is keeping America safe. So the big thing is what I like is, let me see if I can pull this up right here, is the fact that they say 6 straight months of 0 border patrol releases. Let me see if it pops up some of my video. I wonder, what was it? Wonder if I put transit center in there. I was going to show you what they mean by that for those who haven't been watching us for a long time. This is what Joe Biden and Mayorkas and Kamala Harris used to do. They would come into the country illegally. They would give them a piece of paper that said they needed to return to court in 5 to 6 years for their court hearing. So for those 5 to 6 years, they're able to just do whatever they want in the United States. This is where they would drop them off. This is what they called street releases. How many remember this? They came across the border illegally 24 hours prior to this, and they're already being released on the streets of San Diego. So the administration is saying 0 of this. Didn't release them to an NGO, didn't release them with their nice little plane flight into New York or Chicago. Nope. No releases. They're detained until they see an immigration judge and their fake asylum claim is dismissed. So that's great news. Great news. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Sorry, it's only one show today, but we did an hour and a half on this one. So we had some stuff going on. Tomorrow's Friday. I got a lot going on. We're working. We're going to rearrange the studio. We have some more stuff to set up with the new computer. And so we got a lot going on. I think it'll only be one show tomorrow unless something changes. But I want to say thank you guys all for tuning in. We are 100% viewer funded. If you'd like to help us out and donate, any amount helps. 10, 20, 50, it all helps us out. You can do so at Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And as always, we have Zelle link, our Zelle address. If you do mobile or online banking, our Zelle address will be coming up. It's purepatriot559@yahoo.com. And all those donation links will come out as we leave. You guys have a good evening. If anything does break, I will be here. I got some chores to do tonight. I will be around the studio. So if anything does break, we will be live for it. God bless y'all and have a good evening. Let's root on for Friday.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this